Step over your shopping, Rabona the bread, stick on your headphones and fill up your head. Welcome to the Burnie Podcast.
So in this week's episode, we're going to have a look back at some Halloween nasties, and we've also got first team manager Andy Meechan in the hot seat today.
Apologies for any fireworks that go off in the background. It is the 5th of November as we record this, but we've got a cracker from the 2014s for our goal of the week.
And we're also this weekend looking forward to the volley, where we're going to play at Armadale, third versus first, so that'll be a fiery one.
Well, indeed. And Glasgow is green and white, at least until Danny Boy gets the Rangers back into position in the SPL, or at least that's what Jared would lead you to believe.
Yeah, no, Danny Rowe's got it covered there. He'll return the glory to the blue side of Glasgow.
Were you at the match at the weekend there?
Yeah, I was at the match. It was a good day out. Again, like I always say, it's a good day out. It just ends with a bad scoreline. I think we gave ourselves too much to do with a very poor first half performance and a red card. But I am very much got the bias running through my blood, and I very much believe Celtic should have been down to 8 players. Maeda, Ralston and Trusty should have all been off the park. But we move on.
I did watch it. And well, I didn't catch the kind of most of the first half. I saw the sending off. I didn't think it was a sending off myself. But
for Trusty?
Yeah, for your guy, yeah.
Oh no, it was a red card, aye.
You reckon?
Aye, he's kicked him in the chest.
I don't think he even saw him. He was there. He was too focused on the ball going past.
Apparently it's none to do with intent. Apparently
it's just if he does.
Apparently it's just reckless. It's reckless. Do you know what I mean?
Reckless. But no, I thought
you put your foot that high, you run the risk.
Right. Regardless if there's players about you or not.
Aye, so you run that risk. But Maeda fouled 8 times, 1 yellow card. Ralston throwing himself in front of the ball, handball basically, and then Trusty. We don't even need to talk about that one. That's clear as day, red card.
No, we'll not go into them in too much depth. But I do think that I couldn't tell that you were down to 10 players in the second half.
I think there's a saying, it's like sometimes when you go down to 10 men you actually end up playing better because you've got to fight a wee bit harder, but I think to do that in 120 minutes is...
Yeah.
Again, I'm not going to sit and blame the referee because the game lasted for 120 minutes. We showed up for 45 of that, so you've got 75 minutes there where you're not at the races. So for me, yes, I think they should have been down to 8 players, but that's nothing to do with the result in the end. For me, it's poor performance throughout the match.
No, it's good to see you taking accountability for at least that.
Aye.
No,
I try to be the level-headed guys. But first, obviously, so the seniors didn't have a game at the weekend. They played on Tuesday. We'll let you jump in quickly. How did that go?
Not well.
Not brilliant, but it's a friendly. It's to give boys minutes, isn't it?
Aye. But obviously, as well, like your 2011s were playing at the weekend. So how did they get on?
Not well.
Aye, Jaden told me last.
Did he?
About an hour ago.
Did he?
Aye.
Yeah, 3-0 defeat to Broxburn. So I think we should have won the second half. We were down 2-0 at half time, but yeah, it wasn't quite the performance we expected. No, but there you go. Move on to the next one.
Aye.
We've got Hibs this weekend, so that's probably going to be
Hibs
even
community
tougher.
or like Hibs Pro Youth going to be exhibition?
It's the Hibs Div 1 side from Edinburgh.
Oh right, so like Hibs community or something.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so.
Aye, that'll be fun though.
Aye. What about yourself in the 2009s?
We beat East Calder in the Scottish Cup 9-0. So professional performance, get the job done and respect your opponents by playing as best as you can all game. So I'm happy with that. At the weekend it was really, really good. Some of the Halloween costumes for last week, by the way.
Yeah, I saw them. Did you see any of them at all on Facebook? No, we'll stick a couple of them up on screen just now so you can have a look.
Wee Batmans and all that, Spider-Man.
Well, they were duking for apples and all sorts as well, I saw. And I'm not sure how that allowed on the pitch, I don't know. Well, maybe no. But yeah, well done to everybody that dressed up for that. You're going to the Rangers match tomorrow night?
Yes.
Yeah, Jared. So what's your predictions for the score? And people can see how far off or how close you are by the time this goes out.
I think Danny Rowe's going to play a 3-5-2. I think we done that in Europe when we got to the Europa League final. So I'm hoping that we can regain, yes, different players, but same formation at Ibrox with the crowd behind us. I'm hoping we can get away with a 1-1. Heart says 1-1, but the brain says probably like 2-0 Roma or something like that. But I think we can. I think it's one we can date. Like I've seen it done before. Like even under Clermont last year, like we were terrible, but then we went away to Nice in France and won 4-0, and they were like third in the table at the time. So no matter how bad we are in Europe, we can always like switch on like that. But the first 3 opening games of the Europa League haven't been very positive. So there's no really any way to put a prediction on that, in my opinion.
Cool. We'll hopefully see that. So before we jump into our interview, it's time for our Goal of the Week, sponsored by Purdue Worldwide. And this week, we've got a goal from our boys' 2014 Whites team. Welcome to the podcast, Andy. It's good to have you back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, aye.
Aye, welcome back. Second time here. New venue, of course.
New venue, nice venue.
Aye, it's very posh, I think.
Aye, very. It's a step up for the smelly old changing room.
Yeah, there's a slight different smell compared to here. So let's start right back at the beginning. Now we've got you all to ourselves. What are your earliest memories of football?
Earliest memories of football would be going down to exciting Bathgate inside the big hall. It was freezing cold on a Saturday morning for wee soccer, 5-a-sides, kicking a ball about. That's probably my earliest memories of football.
Aye. And like who or what sort of inspired you to play the game seriously and not just kick about?
Probably my old man. My old man was probably a really good... Somebody wanted to drive a wee bit of quality, wanted to drive a wee bit on and make something of my football as much as I possibly could. So I hate hats off to him.
Cheers, Brian.
Aye, cheers, Brian.
So I know it may have been quite brief, but can you tell us a bit about your playing career? Which teams did you play for, just at a junior level?
I stopped playing football probably under 19s. I think the last team I played for was Uphall Diamonds, something down the lines of that. Played at Blackburn for a couple of years, maybe under 16s, under 17s, something like that. I played a year older, then I dropped down a year, and that was it. But I finished up probably under 19s and then went straight into coaching with Davy Jones and Darryl Dunnigan at the time, and that's where it all kicked on for there.
Aye, and was there like any sort of coach that you had that sort of inspired you?
When I first started, or got kind of into properly football wise, it was my cousin Gary's team. Him and Andy Heaps took a team, and that's where I went and started to play and started to enjoy it a wee bit. So he was probably a good influence on it to try and drive us where you wanted to learn and where you wanted to get involved and all that. So he was probably somebody I'd look up to still at this time.
Still keep in contact a wee bit?
All the time, aye.
Brilliant.
Definitely.
So looking back at those kind of people, your dad and Heaps and that, what would you say shaped your approach to the game the most? Was it your playing experience, or these coaching influences, or was it a personality that you kind of tried to focus on?
Probably personality and coaching. You know what I mean? Every day, if it was Heapsy, everything was personal. It was playing junior at the time, so everything got brought into it. It was all designed the right way. Gary was obviously, as somebody says, you've got good cop, bad cop. Gary was probably the good cop out the bay for them. And then obviously you had your old man that as soon as you got back in the car, he would still ridicule you for anything that you done wrong. But they're the probably highlights of growing up to where you want to be now.
Aye.
Where you can think back to yourself, I wish I took all that advice on. And sat back and went, that's really good. But that's back then.
Aye.
Now you're sitting here going, I wish I could still play football.
Aye. No, definitely, mate. It's no regret of mine.
Big time.
I mean, still only I'm young, but I just put too much into coaching now to turn back.
I think that's the thing. See, as soon as you start coaching, I think it's hard to turn it around. You start to get that wee bit of a thrill, wee bit of a thrive that you want to.
Well, I guess you're seeing results. You have actual tangible results that you can, from your input, and they literally have this effect, and you're seeing such a positive impact.
Definitely. For years of starting coaching to now, you notice it, and it's a bit of pride and a bit of enjoyment because you're seeing where boys are nowadays, and you think to yourself, I had him when he was back then, and look where he is now. Aye. So it's good.
Aye, definitely. So kind of talking a wee bit about your transition into coaching. When did you kind of realise or decide that coaching is probably going to be your future?
Or was it a conversation your dad had with you going?
Nah, it was probably I stopped playing football, took a wee bit of time away from the football, and at high school I ended up doing a young ambassadors programme at St Kent's, and that probably pushed me into the coaching side of things like
leadership
this.
kind of thing. Aye.
And obviously then I tied in with Darryl Dunnigan, who's a family friend, and he got me along to help with him and Davy Jones, and that's when the coaching decided. And then I started to get to an age where they guys were getting a wee bit older, and then I stepped in and helped Trev with his
All ones?
I would have been all ones, aye. That's probably when I started going down the path of start to take a team myself and start to ease away from doing it with others.
Aye.
Kind of thing.
So I talked about going into that, managing a team kind of yourself. What was kind of the biggest kind of challenges for, or any kind of moments from that initial experience as a coaching a team for the first time?
I think it's, and Jared will know this as well, you obviously still feel young at heart when you were taking a team way back then, and you always try to separate them both, but you end up being pally too much. So the hardest bit's trying to hit a balance, I think. You don't want to be too harsh on them, but you want to enjoy the time that you're going to hate with these
because
guys.
sometimes you know the line.
Aye.
And you pull back, but they didn't ken the sort of
100%.
line. You know what I mean? So then you need to stop like that.
So that's the hardest thing that I would find.
Aye.
Definitely. Young coaches do brilliant, and you look at what the club have got for Cullinan doing some, Schooler doing some, and you think to yourself, these are all young coaches that are the next generation. They're still playing really well, but where are these guys going to find the balance to enjoy football but enjoy it with their pals, and find it when they can be strict and when they can't be strict?
Aye.
And it's just one of these lessons that you learn more and more you coach, and the further on you get in life.
Definitely. And in terms of like the manager's job that you've now got, how did that come about, and what made you go, aye?
Came about, well, it'll be 2 years I've been doing it now, so end of last year it was a funny way it all came about, to be truthfully honest. Jamie obviously decided to take a step aside. I put my name in the hat and was fortunate to get the job. And I hate to give credit to Jamie and Mark Campbell, because they were only a phone call or a message away. Jamie especially. Jamie came in, was, if you needed any help or anybody to try and speak to players or speak to somebody or get somebody to go and watch a game, he was the first person to help you out. And I credit to him, because you were young. I was still young at that time. You were jumping into that job and you're thinking to yourself, right, what do I do now? What do I do? How do I deal with this? How do I deal with that? And it's different from like your team is a total different experience, because you're dealing with guys' expenses, you're dealing with guys that work constantly all day, that maybe have a crap day at work, that are coming to kick a ball, and you've got to try and find a bit of balance with how do they feel or what's going on in their life, and it's crazy. But it's enjoyable. It's really enjoyable, and that's probably why I've stuck it.
It's like one of the hard parts is just attacking something from loads of different angles. Do you know what I mean? There's so many things to consider when you're making a decision, or even the way you deal with people. Do you know what I mean? There's so much things you need to consider, especially when you're saying about work. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Family life and all that sort of stuff as well.
Definitely, and it's one of these ones that you try and know your players inside it, and it's the hardest thing you'll ever do. You've got boys that are so quiet, and you've got boys that are so loud, and you've got to think to yourself, do you put an arm around them? Do you scream and shout at them? When do you... And you've got that short period of time, 2 hours during the week, 4 hours during the week, that you've got to try and learn all this. But then, of course, a season, you can learn it all, and then you make the right inquiry for the right people around the book.
Yeah.
And that's what's good.
100%.
No, I mean, definitely, I think this season is kind of, for me, looking at the team, it's kind of first good proper go at a season with a proper decent team and a decent setup.
Yeah.
You know, you goalkeeper and everything, and we're flying along at the moment. How would you kind of describe that culture that you're trying to build in the dressing room? Is it like when you say it's completely open door policy? They can come and speak to you at any time, or is it more very militaristic down the line?
No, I think Jared will know it as well. Coming into your dressing room, it's really, really good. It's open, it's fun, it's gays. If anybody's got an issue, it's not just me. You know what I mean? Every day, you've got a leadership group. The boys will maybe go speak to the leadership group. If it's something to do with the house or something to do with work, it's open and honest with everybody that's in that dressing room, and that's probably been the benefit of where we are right now compared to what last year was. Last year, probably folk tried to take a hint. Do we do this? Do we do that? How do we deal with this? How do we deal with that? Where now it's open and honest that you can hear say, you can see what you're going to be at. You might not like the answer, but at the end of the day, at least you've had a say first, and then we can see where you're going to go for the next.
Complete transparency.
We're a family. That's it. If you look at the hours that these guys spend a season with each other, and I was saying this to somebody earlier, that you train for 2 hours on a Monday night, you train for 2 hours on a Thursday night, and you're with each other from 1 o'clock to probably 5:30 on a Saturday. That's most time that you'll spend with your missus that night, or your kid or whatever like that. So the guys need to, or the guys do realise that it's a family, and it's a place that everybody cares for each other, and they trust each other, and they've got that bit against that they'll run through a brick wall for each other.
Exactly, fight for each other. Yeah.
That's what's good about it right now.
Good.
Definitely. And what's probably been like your biggest learning curve so far, being head coach and manager, like even just something simple as that, is like making it an open door policy? Or?
Not taking anything to heart, or taking anything too serious. You take it to heart, you'll go home at night and you'll no sleep, and you'll think to yourself this. And if you take something too serious, you'll fall out with that person when there's bigger things in the world that's going on. So at the end of the day, as soon as you leave that football club, you'll still have thoughts and everything in your mind, but you've just got to switch off and move on for it until the next day, and then it all starts again.
100%.
It's good.
I
It's
think
really good.
Because you do take it to heart, and we always talk about, like, as coaches saying to the players, move on, think about the next action. But as a coach, if you're not practicing that as well, you're going to let the next action be affected by previous. Do you know what I mean?
Big time. Probably as coaches too, you probably think to yourself, does it mean a lot to players and all that? But it probably means as much to the players as it does to you, and you just think it doesn't because you go home and you think, oh, that doesn't mean that much to them, that doesn't mean that much to them. But realistically, it does.
Aye.
You know what I mean? They spend the same amount of time as you.
Aye.
They just show it a different way.
Aye, it's all relative at the end of the day. Like it's, yeah. So at the start of the season, I think we said we were pushing for promotion when we first spoke, and I think we're in the promotion places for sure. What were your kind of expectations, and have results kind of changed them? Or are we still in the same?
Still the same bracket, you know, between all the coaching staff to all the players to committee wise. The goal is to get promoted. That is the goal. Obviously, we're lucky enough it's between first and fourth place that's going to get promoted. But if you ask any player, any coach, it's one game at a time. Just tick your box, tick your list off. Win, draw, lose. You can't get too up heart. Take the highs as the highs and the lows as the lows, and then just enjoy every minute with a smile on your face. And that's it.
And what's been like sort of the key factors in this, you know, sort of fast start, obviously compared to the changeover for last season's sort of results to, you know, how we're doing just now? Like, what's been the driving sort of factor in that?
I think it's that everybody's bought into what you want to achieve, and everybody's bought into a family type place, and everybody needs to care for each other. You need to fight for each other. You need to basically run through that brick wall. And if you run through that brick wall, then the club, from the community club to the senior committee to whatever else, the people that come and watch you, that they'll support you in every way that's necessary. And that's probably what players now are buying into, is they know if they do the right things in a park and they give everything that they've got, they'll get supported. And the support is coming, and it's right through the full club, for soccer school, right through, that support's there.
Yeah. We do need more support down at the Burnie though for these home matches.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
We could do with that to kind of increase the atmosphere a bit more.
You need a wee bit of more atmosphere out.
Aye, definitely. It's like things you look up to as like a wee boy when you're playing football. It's that crowd, it's that passion on a Saturday, and even just having that for some of the boys, especially like the younger boys have came up like through 20s and that, even just saying 100 people for the village and out we've been there, it's going to create an atmosphere.
Oh, 100%.
Plus travel and support.
No, definitely. And the good thing is there's chances to do that. The club's got all these young players and young parents that can come down and bring their kid along, but not just come along and watch the football. They can be mascots, they can get involved, they can play football in the park at half time. There's so much round about it, but there's so much that they can learn and what they can develop.
Like the first game of the season, like your stag do and all that, like just they sort of days.
The first game of the season I thought was brilliant. You know, you had that wee fun day. It was good to see all the kids, the senior boys away, mixing in with every day. I thought that was a great environment for the club, and it shows what the club's is all about from day one to what it is at senior level. And I think there needs to be more of that.
Aye. It's a shame about the Scottish weather. We can't have that kind of thing more often or not, but
no.
There's definitely events that we could certainly put on. And like I say, we've got over 500 boys, I think, registered. Even if half of them brought a parent.
Aye.
And there's 500 people at
That's
the game.
500 people at the game. You know what I mean? It would be great to see, so we'll definitely try and do that. So you've clearly got the fans on your side, and you've got the players believing. How are you keeping that momentum going for the second half of the season? Is it just one game at a time?
One game at a time. Tick that box.
Do you still talk to them? Do you mention the results? Like, you know, look guys, we're sitting third here. We can't do this, or is it just?
No, it's genuinely just treat one game at a time. Enjoy the moment we're in, and what happens, and that's it. I mean, there's no, as we say every week, and you'll know it yourself, there's no stress, there's no worry, there's no pressure on you. Just go and enjoy your football, and that's it. Every day will take that pressure away from you. If you're scoring goals, if you're winning games, it's just that thrill, it's that joy. You know what I mean? And that's, as coaches, as a manager, as a head coach, whatever you want to do it, you'll take that pressure away for the guys, because you know they've got quality, you know you trust them to go and do a job on a Saturday, and you're happy enough to do it.
100%. Obviously you're quite optimistic as well. At the start of the season, like you tell us, like promotion, that's what I want to do, and obviously that will still remain as the goal. But looking ahead, you know, what's the next ambition? What's the next goal if you get to that promotion?
If we get promoted, it's about, your next league's going to be hard. It's going to be very, very hard, and there needs to be a realisation that you're going to take a step up against players and teams that are going to be organised to be, that's played in that league maybe 2-3 years in a row.
With a bigger budget.
With bigger budgets.
Ex-professionals and...
Aye, but I think realistically you need to be hard to beat. But we can't write ourselves off saying we'll go up and come right back down. I think we need to go and make a statement to ourselves, and if we've done so well this year so far and we can complete that goal and that bit of thrill, then I can't see why not that we can cement ourselves mid-table, pushing as high as possible in that Premier Division team with the right frame of mind and the right attitude for every day in that team.
Absolutely. I mean, that's how you're going to keep, again, like you're saying, the supporters on our side. If we want them to keep coming to the games, we want to be doing well, we want to be winning games, you know, like getting results against, you know, bigger sides as well.
Oh, definitely. That's where your enjoyment comes.
Aye.
Isn't it?
So how important is the youth development to your kind of long-term vision for the club?
The youth is key for Blackburn. Obviously your budget isn't big, so you need to go and trust young boys, and you need to give the young boys an opportunity. And the only way they're going to get an opportunity is to go and play men's football. And I think that if you look at the guys that's played, that's came through the ranks at the club, from Blair Flood to young Corey,
Schooler.
to Schooler, to there's a number of boys that you could really call it for. That's what's going to drive you on, and that's what you need. You know what I mean? There's boys that's coming through for the 20s that are going to make a big massive difference, and they'll help next season. They'll help to the end of this season as well,
Right.
and that's what's good, and that's where the joy, and not even the joy, the thank you and the consistency of Brian and Connor for the 20s, and before that was Martin and Scotty, that you hate to shake their hand and say, listen, you're doing a great job and keep doing what you're doing, because at the end of the day you can't take the pride for giving somebody a jersey to go and play on a Saturday or whatever. It's they guys that need to take the joy and the credit for it. All you're doing is giving them the next step to go and exceed what they want to go and do. But they boys, not even them, it's the boys, the coaches before them that then came into the 20s that need the credit, because they guys are...
I think that's the best way to be as a coach, just thinking of yourself as just a step in somebody's journey. Like, it's never about like, oh, I did this and I did that. It's just like, I was glad to be a
cog in a wheel.
Aye, if they're going to play football up until they're 35, you're only going to be about a percentage of that.
Yeah.
And it's just about recognising that you're proud to be a part of that.
Oh, big time. And then you can sit back and say, listen, I coached him when he was 12, or when I coached him when he was 16, and look where he is now. That's a good thing.
Absolutely. And just going into the playing squad a wee bit, so you got a new signing, Ben Riley. How did you sort of be attracted to him as a player? What made you want to bring him on board?
So Ben played against us in pre-season for Pennycook, and he was really good, very mobile, very quick, top majority of the game, was really, really good. At that point, you were probably looking at him going, he's a Premier League player, you'll never get him. And then all of a sudden, he came available in the transfer list. Brian Smiley coached him when he was younger.
All right, I don't know that.
I'm sure Brian took him into Hibs as well. Don't ask Brian about that one. But so I spoke to Brian about it. Brian got in contact with Ben, and then the next minute we started to make process to get Ben to the club, and it took a number of weeks, but we're glad we got him on the line, because he's made a difference since he came through the door.
Yeah, no, I mean, he won that Player of the Week poll as well.
Aye.
Yeah,
And that was his first game, was it?
No, it was his first game.
Aye.
That was fantastic. So I take it he's settling into the squad well.
Settling in perfectly. And he's the furthest boy to travel to training to. He's Musselburgh.
Right.
So it just shows you the commitment that he's got to play his football.
It shows you that obviously we're starting to have that bigger draw now.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't, like you say, he was playing Premier League, so he obviously envisioned us playing there next season.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. And obviously with him coming in the door, he's looking at results before he came in the door, and he's looking at results now, so he's made the right decision, hasn't he?
Well, he certainly had an impact in what we've seen so
100%.
far.
And do you expect him to keep being a massive impact on that squad?
Without
putting it on his shoulders, like...
No, I think that he will make a massive impact. I think he'll either keep getting better and better every week, as you could say that, or he'll just keep being consistent every week, that will drive to get success out of everybody else, and he'll drive to get success for Blackburn through.
So what's his kind of key strengths? Is it his talking, or is it down to just pure skill? Or
It's probably his work rate. His work rate is fantastic. It's like Corey and Spencer. The work rate on the two are brilliant, and it allows boys like Scotty Richards to play football, get on the ball, pick passes. Darryl with his great feet to get onto the ball, to get further forward, because he knows that he's got the likes of Corey, Spencer, Ben that's going to do the work rate and do that hard yards for these guys that can go and get on the ball and play some really nice football.
100%. And in terms of like that sort of like mental attitude side of things, what's impressed you about that as well?
I think he's obviously got the right attitude for being Premier, and he played lower league, so he's got that attitude of winning. He's got that attitude of determination to go and get over the line, but he's also a very smart young guy. You know what I mean? He's up for a laugh, he knows when to handle himself well, he knows when to be well, and I'm sure it was the first game, positive it was the first game, he got a booking early on, and I think the referee ran by him and said, listen, just you be careful, and next minute he was waving it to come off, so you know yourself that somebody that's on a booking and somebody tell you that, and that's somebody that's reading the game that knows a wee bit, listen, I could be off my next one here.
I need to think about the team rather than myself.
And he's made the decision to come off the park, which there's no many other boys would do that.
It does. That shows maturity, like, for sure. So Armadale away, top of the table clash this weekend. How are you feeling heading into this one?
Looking forward to it. You know what I mean? We obviously had a wee bounce friendly last night, just to get the cobwebs off because we gave the guys a weekend off. We'll all be back at training tomorrow, so we'll just work hard and see what Saturday brings. But it's just enjoying it, you know. The message to all the guys will just be go and play with a smile on your face, regardless of what the result's going to be and regardless of what we want to achieve. It's early on in the season.
It's still early.
There's probably no pressure on us. There's probably no pressure on Armadale. So we just need to go play with a smile on our face. Absolutely. And enjoy what the atmosphere is going to be like. It's going to be like an old junior atmosphere at a ground that you'll walk out and get the two old guys at the end of the tunnel screaming and shouting at you. And that's probably what's been you that wee bit of enjoyment, that wee bit of thrill. It's just a larger crowd, and it's a derby, so you need to turn up and see what you're going to do.
And what are you expecting from Armadale? What type of game do you think it's going to be? Do you think it's going to be quite like a battle, or do you think you're going to look at it more tactically? Or?
I think it's going to be very tactical. I think it's going to be quite a lot of football played. You know, Armadale's really, really good. We watched them against Heriot Watt last Saturday because we never had a game, but they've got the likes of boys that's played at Blackburn before, that's away playing there, and it's like that what we spoke about earlier. It's great to see, and it is brilliant to see because you know they've had them at Blackburn, they've done well for Blackburn, but they're still doing well. It's just they're doing it elsewhere, but they're really good. Armadale's really, really good, and it's a credit to Coco and Stuggs and Gav Wallace because they've got the guys playing really good football, so the credit needs to be at them as well. At
them, yeah, definitely.
Aye. So obviously you've talked about you had a wee bounce game. What's the kind of, were you talking mainly about tactics and stuff like that, or how much fitness do you do so you don't ensure the burnout before the game?
Funny you say that because the start of the season, the Thursday night before the season, so 2 days before we kicked our ball at the start of the season, we done a bleep test, and it probably burnt the boys out for the Tynecastle game on the Saturday. So we obviously had a game on Tuesday night. The boys will come in, it'll probably be more tactical, there'll be more breaks in the session, but we still expect them to work as hard as what they normally work. They'll just get a wee bit more breaks into it, and then we'll see what everybody's like. But you know, they've got obviously have the day to rest, they'll train in the morning and they'll have Friday to rest, and then we'll see how everybody is for Saturday.
Aye. Well, curious, what level did they get to in the bleep test? Who was the best?
I can't mind. There was a good few. I want to say I think Ethan Harris was at the top.
Aye, because you know do the high rocks and all that, aye.
So
you'd expect that.
Aye. But I'm positive he was near that top end.
Aye.
But that was probably a downfield to the Tynecastle game.
No, we try and do the bleep test at least once a month with the boys, just to make sure that they're still. But aye, you're right, it burns a bit. Like,
definitely.
It does burn a bit.
Definitely.
Is that why you're kicking shin pads after?
Aye.
They're like, the bleep test, man!
Got to blame yourself somehow.
Ricochets off somebody else. It's always like a game like this against Armadale, in a way, can define a season. What sort of message are you wanting to give to the players for that match? Obviously you talked about enjoying the football, but like on a serious level, what you kind of wanting to tell them?
Take no prisoners.
No, listen, I think if I'm going to be personally honest with you, the message will just be going to enjoy the day.
Yeah.
I don't think there'll be anything that it's a must win or it's this or you need to do this or you need to do that. It'll be flat out go and enjoy yourselves today. And that'll be it. You know what I mean? Games like this, derby games, will take as much as what boys will want to play. And you'll know how to talk. You'll just say to let the guys go and enjoy themselves. You know what I mean? It's obviously it's in the calendar for a reason, and boys look at league tables and they know what's to call for. It's just keeping every day at the right highs are highs, lows are lows. Just enjoy yourself, see what happens.
Aye. So hopefully a load of fans will travel across to the Volley. How important is it for them to come and support the team, even away from home?
It makes a big difference.
Yeah.
It makes a massive difference to when you score a goal and you hear a big uproar, or when a decision doesn't go your way and you've got a wee bit of a corner in an away ground that's getting an uproar that you think to yourself, that's cheering us on a wee bit. And it's not just 2 or 3 folk that is your normal there, and it makes a massive difference for the guys. It makes a massive difference for anybody. You know what I mean? Even if you were to hey young people down to watch the game and you've got a decent crowd, then it probably makes them feel special that that's what they could achieve and what they can go to. Well, I'll be playing in front of 100 people or 200 people.
Aye.
That's the difference. Yeah.
So maybe an idea we organise or try and get a bus or something like that for all the young Blackburn fans and stuff like that for an away game and stuff like that.
5-minute bus journey across to.
Aye, no, but like for the
no, obviously go up because you've got games up in like Kirkcaldy and all that.
Aye.
So, that's a good idea.
It's still it's not too far away. I think it would be good to kind of
decent travel time.
Aye.
Definitely. So moving on, just a wee bit more relevant Scottish football news. Know that you're no relevant. Just like in general, what's kind of happening. So the SFA have closed the performance schools after the most recent youth development review. Obviously, players like Nathan Patterson and Billy Gilmore have been, produced from there. Yep. What's your reaction to the shutting of that?
I think it's hard to see where they're coming from or what their plans would be achieved with that. You look at boys, and the prime example is we played against Stirling Albion last night and Corey Thompson was playing for them, and that was the difference. You look at him and he's obviously came through the ranks with us and then moved into another set-up, and you look at that and going, he's good enough to go be at that level. There's other boys that's good enough to go be at that level. It's whether or not people in other clubs are giving them the opportunity to go and thrive and be there, or is Scottish football going down the drain and these guys are ending up going to be playing at the level that Blackburn are at, or are they going to go away down south to play football because of the level they want to go, and then are we losing all this quality,
going down south.
I think they need to have a look at what, for me, the three that stick out for me is Hibs, Aberdeen and Motherwell in terms of youth development. You've got guys Josh Doig, John McGinn, Lennon Miller, David Turnbull, Jake Hastie, and for Aberdeen you've got your Lewis Fergusons and Connor Barons and whatever you want to call it. Whereas the guys that are doing it themselves at Rangers, Celtic, Hearts, there's no really been loads that has came through and you'd go, wow. Do you know what I mean? There's
no, and then anybody that does come through the ranks for another team
gets snapped up
by the old firms. And the prime example was the boy, was it McCowan, came from Dundee?
Luke McCowan. He
was the prime example, done really well at Dundee, then Celtic started him up and he's not played many minutes. But that's the harsh side of it.
The SFA has said it is partly due to a lack of elite talent coming through. I don't agree with that assessment. I think it is clear, but I think that you're right. You've got that gap between us and the top club that kind of, they're just not getting the opportunities.
No.
And it's probably looking at like the budget as well, because it's like, right, we're spending X amount, and in return, we've got 32-year-old Grant Hanley playing in position. Now, that's obviously a wee bit brutal towards him, but in terms of like looking at it, it's like, why are we playing these older guys when we're not having a look at the younger guys who we're spending tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of pounds a year on? So it's probably in terms of that as well, I'd say, budget-wise.
I hate to agree with you, and it's another one of these ones that is everybody taking the concern side. If they play a young boy, are they going to get abuse, or are they going to get treated unfairly? But some of these young boys are better than what your main players are.
They'll give you a fight.
You
know what I mean?
It means something to them because they want to prove a point.
Do you sit a president and say, like, each team in Scotland has to have at least 2 homegrown Scottish players, or one at least from grassroots, to play in the Premier League. That's kind of thing.
And Hamilton no do that? Hamilton no. If you look at Hamilton's team sheet, May Sweets is no like graduates. There's about 7 boys on it that's been for.
So their head of youth before used to be George Cairns. He's now at Livingston, but one of the boys in my team was there on trial just throughout pre-season. And he was saying that George Cairns took him in for a meeting and was like, I've got like £35 million worth of player sales. No for Hamilton, but talking about how much they've gone for afterwards as well. And it's like, well, there you go, that's the model. That's the way it has to be, sort of thing. Yeah. So, and they said as well they wanted to avoid duplication with like Rangers and Celtic and Hearts who are running their own sort of performance skills. But as I mentioned, those are the 3 clubs without much youth coming through, and the ones that are Hibs, Aberdeen, Motherwell, in my opinion.
I agree with you.
And so, and do you think like that'll take away from like the development of the pathway at like club level, or?
I think pro youth teams will still grasp onto these boys. I just think it makes it harder for teams when these boys get let go for pro youth and all that, when they're not going to get snapped up for another pro youth team and then they hate to move down to a seniors or a 20s team, and they've got this mentality that they're still good enough to be.
Yeah, because that must be a huge thing, being built up, and into a Premier top, and then just dropped.
And I think that even young boys that like maybe taking up for soccer school, hits first year 11, they're dropped straight away. I think that's the hard bit. I mean, it must be a hard conversation.
They probably need to go and have a look at, like, there's other countries similar size as Scotland, similar populations, like Belgium. They've only got 5 million more people than us, but they're 40 rankings above us. Do you know what I mean? You need to have a look at countries like that and like say, like, what are they doing that we are not? Definitely. In my opinion.
Have you seen any have you got any examples? You said about young. I can't remember what you said there. Corey, yeah. Any more kind of examples that you can think about that should have probably made it and then didn't quite?
There's probably, we had, when Mark and Jamie took the team, we got a good few boys for Hamilton on loan, and they were really good. Darryl was obviously still Wales, and he played Europa League football.
Aye.
I'm sure he did when he was younger with Hamilton. He was up there with them. We also had Marley, who was really good, and all these boys came through the setup at Hamilton, and they were playing with Hamilton, or they moved on to better and bigger things. And I still think that these boys there could have made a bigger step up. Their quality was different class.
Definitely. It's a shame to see that Hamilton have shut their academy now as well. They've just took all their players over to Livingston, but it's the money. It's even me like the SFA need to say, wow, they've done a lot for us. Like Lewis Ferguson came through at Hamilton too. Like, they need to go, like, they've done a lot, we're going to help keep them on their feet. But they just, instead of doing that, they give them like point deductions and fines and all that because of silly wee mistakes. Do you know what I mean? It's
a money game at the end.
Aye. And do you think shutting those performance skills might help local clubs like Blackburn hold on to boys for a wee bit longer, or?
It could, but you never know.
Without the investment into these smaller clubs, I think if they're going to put the money elsewhere into actual grassroots community clubs like ourselves, then you might see a bit more. But
aye,
I don't think
we're fortunate. Like ourselves in Armadale and Broxburn are the fortunate teams in West Lothian and have Astros. But see if you go out to like Bathgate, Fauldhouse, Stonyburn, they might not want it, but see if you give them an AstroTurf, all of a sudden you're giving them, like, we've got 500 kids
signed up
who you can go and develop.
Well, that's it. I think literally if you want to start investing in grassroots football, you have to invest in the grass itself, literally, with putting parks on the parks actually for place people to play.
Definitely. But even some of these grass like Bathgate, Storyburn, these are decent grass parks.
Oh, I mean
they're good enough, and it's just pity when it comes to weather like this and the winter that they struggle.
Yeah,
and we're lucky enough to hear that bit of 3G, aren't we?
Aye, maybe we should start a new industry developing 3G pitches.
We'll call it Give Back to Grassroots.
Aye.
And we'll host wee events and that. 99% of the profits back to Blackburn, 1% to the all-weather pitch project at Polbeth.
So, fine, if you had the SFA's ear for a minute, what's one thing you'd tell them needs to happen to really fix youth football in Scotland?
I think they hate to listen to youth. Listen to youth coaches that know youth people that are at a pro youth setup. I think they need to listen to
Actual Joe
grassroots
Public.
coaches that are volunteering, that are seeing it for day one, that are needing to go out and put their own nets up at the end of the day. And
Take them down after it.
aye, and then listen to what they guys need to say. Because they're the ones that are developing not just Blackburn United's first team, but first teams round about West Lothian, first teams round about Edinburgh and further on.
Even putting on like a wee like coach education night, because you see like all those like wee CPD events that you need to pay £40 for, and you travel 40-50 minutes to go and do it just to get your badges active. But see if they just came into Blackburn, do you know what I mean, delivered like a 1 hour session, different drills and all that, all of a sudden these volunteer coaches are going to have access to like a PDF of like 10-20 drills just for an hour of their time. Do you know what I mean?
That's a good thing, but it's only the SFA are only going to listen to folk that got to save them money.
I was just saying that either going to give them money or save them money. Yes,
definitely. Well, will we move into the quickfire?
Yes,
Let's
yes.
do it. Let's do it. Favourite player growing up?
Henry Larsson.
Okay, hardest opponent you faced as a manager?
Oh, East Coast Bride last season.
Right.
Mick Kennedy.
Like Kennedy.
What was the result?
6-1, 6-0, something like that.
Any pre-match rituals?
Out for breakfast in the morning and a coffee.
A bit of gel.
Bit of hair gel, maybe a wee haircut. Do the road do that.
Right.
If you could manage any club in the world, what club would you manage?
Celtic.
Celtic.
Funniest player you ever coached?
Cammy Donaldson. I'll get an ear slip for that one.
He's not a current player, no.
No, he's...
Okay, who's
current player?
Well, I'm just asking an extra question here. Who's the funniest current player in the squad?
Beansy.
Beansy, yeah. Favourite venue you've played in?
I like Cumbernauld Colts. Broadwood.
Aye. That's right.
I
Aye.
like that one.
Post match. What's your go to like post match sort of night out routine sort of thing?
Chinese and chill out on the couch.
With a wife.
Aye, with the wife.
I'm sorry to hear that, my friend.
But she watches this.
Favourite player of all time?
Henry Larsson.
Favourite Scottish player of all time?
Oh, that's a tricky one. Kenny Dalglish.
Okay.
Solid.
VAR, bin it or keep it?
Keep it.
Celtic win the Champions League or Scotland win the World Cup?
Celtic win the Champions League.
3G or grass?
Carry beat a good grass park. I like grass.
Messi or Ronaldo?
Messi.
Fair enough. Android or Apple?
Apple.
Ice cream or chocolate?
Ice cream.
And if football wasn't the path, what do you think you'd be doing instead?
Becoming a food critic.
Critic, aye, okay, fair enough. You see, you doing like one of those beard meets food challenges and stuff like you've seen
stuff
there.
like that.
Yeah.
Oh, the ones that go to restaurants and just destroy restaurants.
On that note, I seen my pal put on his Snapchat earlier on. It was his Uber Eats order. And seen the delivery notes. He put, "I'm a food critic on TikTok. Please can you add in that like a wee bit extra herbs and spices and whatever." And the delivery was sent to his door in about 20 minutes, and they got all these extras and that. The boys doesn't have a channel at all. So for anybody watching, there you go.
Yeah, food hacks.
Finally, what would it mean for you to get a result this weekend at Armadale?
It'd be enjoyable. I think that's the best way to put it. It'd be enjoyable, but what happens, and
What doesn't.
aye, which is fine. We'll see how it goes.
Definitely.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very, very much for coming back in.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure talking to you. We'll hopefully have you in further down the line in the season?
Definitely.
Promotion podcast.
A promotion
You're just
podcast.
buzzing for a promotion party.
Aye, I've said this since day one.
That's all you are.
We'll stream the promotion party live on the Burnie
No,
Podcast.
I can't do that. No, that was good, mate. It was
No,
good.
perfect. Thank you, guys.
No, thank you. Thanks very much for watching, guys. We'll see you all next week, where we again don't have a clue who we're going to have, but we look forward to it anyway.
Get this parrot on.
I had to get the parrot on.
Cheery bye.
Cheers, guys. Bye.